Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon to me. How is everyone doing today? It's Thursday, which means it's almost Friday, which means it's almost the weekend, which is exciting because it's summer and I hope we all have fun plans for the weekend. Today, I want to share how my beliefs have sabotaged my success and how you may be doing this to yourself as well with some beliefs that you could potentially be holding on to. So, I am really diving into mindset in this live. And if you have more questions, I would love to invite you to a payday party, especially if you are a online business owner, online coach, online service-based entrepreneur. The Payday Party is a week-long workshop that I am hosting next Monday, starting next Monday, and it's actually from next Monday to the following Tuesday. September 3rd is when it ends, and we're going to dive into money mindset, but it can often be applied to other mindset pieces. And we're also going to look at implementing a system that'll help you see that managing and making money in your business can be easy and it can be fun. So today I'm sharing a personal story, which is how I've self-sabotaged myself with some of my own limiting beliefs, especially in work specifically. And I'd love to know if it resonates with you, what you think about it, and how you can start understanding what certain limiting beliefs you might be experiencing, you might be holding on to, which could ultimately lead to your own self-sabotage, your own keeping you stuck from having that successful year, that breakout month, whatever it is that you have been working towards. So my story is I've held on to a belief, and it comes from the community and the family that I grew up in, which is the idea, and it is a very strong belief, and many people will argue with me, that hard work is the only way to get to success. And for me, hard work means like you're spending a lot of time working. So, working not just 8, but 10, 12-hour days. And you are often doing, sometimes in this case, it's physical labor, and you are blood, sweat, and tearsing it to success. And this is something just because, growing up, I grew up in an entrepreneurial family, and it's a physical labor activity. It's a construction business. And so that was the kind of model that I understood as what I could get to success. And now here I am in my own adult life working in an online business halfway across the world from most of my clients. So it's a really interesting paradigm that my programming is you have to work long hours, and it has to be almost physically demanding in order to be successful. And yet my work is entirely different from that. And I've experienced then these setbacks and these, points of burnout from trying to push and wondering, why is the pushing? Why is the spending all the time? Why is the, feeling like I've really been physically draining myself, not only from spending time working, but also just trying to force some things to work? Why is it not leading to the success that I'm looking for? And I worked with a coach who really helped me identify that hard work does not have to, success and working really hard do not have to be correlated. It doesn't even mean that hard work equals success. It's just success can stay in its own lane, and I can work as hard or make work be easy as much as I want. Hi, Amanda. And so this is something that I've had to identify. I've had to identify what my set point is when it comes to work. And we all have these internal thermometers built in within us. They're programmed from when we were children. And in some cases, we have set points around how much money we're able to receive, how much debt we're willing to hold on to, how much money we're willing to hold on to in terms of savings, and in some cases, how much money we're willing to spend. And for some people, this can be really helpful. For me, I have a set point of how much money I'm willing to see in my main checking account so that I don't overspend in that account. And that can be good because it helps me budget without having to really specifically and strictly budget my money out. And I think that that can be really freeing. This is something that I help some of my clients get used to, is understanding and leveraging and using some of their money set points for good rather than using it to work against them. So we all have set points that can be, those are a handful of money ones. I have a work set point, and I've had to identify my work set point, which is that I'm not allowed to be successful until I've worked and I've put in these number of hours. So a lot of people who transition from traditional employed work to entrepreneurship work often maintain their what was the time that I had to commit set point. So in a lot of ways, it's the 40-hour work week. Or for some people, they put in 70, 80 hours a week. And so they had to move that forward into their entrepreneurial venture and say, well, I still have to maintain 40, 70, 80 hours a week. Hi, Whitney. And so we have set points when it comes to work. A lot of people have set points when it comes to relationships too. You probably know someone, or maybe you identify as a person who gets into a relationship and you've been in this relationship for a couple of months, or maybe it hits a year, and then you tell yourself and you tell your friends this, you're like, yeah, but once it hits a year, then I have to get out of it. Or once it hits 3 months, that's what really my make or break point. Or in some cases, it's not necessarily the time, but it's allowing yourself to feel, accepted or loved to a certain point, and then you start acting a little weird or essentially self-sabotaging the relationship. And that happens to a lot of people, or it's a belief that they're holding on to that is sabotaging then actually the success of this relationship, or the success of business, or the success of your financial situation. And so essentially, we need to start identifying what our set points are, what that internal thermometer is saying that you are safe up to this point, and once you go beyond this point or you fall below this point, that's when you're in the danger zone. So what happens for most of us, to get this to be a little more concrete, is to understand that our internal thermometers, our set points, the amount of money we're allowed to have, the amount of work we're allowed to do or that we have to do in order to be successful, the amount of love we're allowed to have and hold and experience in a day or a month or a year. Those are all determined, if we haven't worked on them yet, they're all determined from our childhood. Generally between the ages of 0 and 7 years old, which is when our subconscious brain is really starting to form and develop, and we're starting to learn what is socially acceptable, what is acceptable within my family unit and within my community, and within this new world that I'm trying to figure out how to survive in. And that's essentially what we're doing when we're babies. We're just trying to survive. We're like, I need to eat, I need to pee, I need to poop, and I need to sleep, and that's it. And like, my parents are going to help keep me sheltered. And so we identify what is socially acceptable within our family unit. And so we pick up all of the money limiting beliefs, we pick up all of the work limiting beliefs, we pick up all of the relationship limiting beliefs, and we hold on to them. And we get them so subconsciously programmed into our subconscious mind. They're so deep, and then we carry them up until we start realizing, oh, this is probably not serving me. So for me, I believed I had to work really, really, really hard in order to have any success. And yet I can look out and see tons of people who make work look fun, feel that work really is easy for them, but I can't allow myself to believe that because I've had this limiting belief holding me back for so long. And it's not to the fault of anyone, because no one intentionally wants us to believe that we're not allowed to make any more money or that we're not allowed to experience any additional love, but we just program that because that's what we observe as babies, that this is safety. Safety is to only have a certain amount of money, and that if you have too much money, you're a greedy, evil person. And if I ended up having too much money, maybe my family wouldn't accept me, maybe they wouldn't love me anymore. And obviously, when we really think about it, we're like, that's not true. But we hold on to that, and subconsciously we believe that, and we're not consciously aware of the fact that that's what we've been holding on to and believing. So the idea is that these set points are essentially our comfort zone. They are what we know is going to keep us safe. They are what we know is going to keep us comfortable. And when we start stepping out of that comfort zone, when I start working less hours than what I thought I needed to work, which was like 70 to 80 hours a week in order to be successful, when I start working less hours, or when I happen to not work on a Tuesday, my subconscious and me as just a person, I start short-circuiting because I'm like, what are you doing? This is dangerous. You're stepping out of your comfort zone, and which means, your family unit that you grew up in said, well, you can only be successful if you work this amount of hours or if you work this hard, and you're not meeting that, so you're not welcome here, which obviously isn't the case, but my brain, that's what it's leading me to. And for other people, if they're making more money than what would have been socially acceptable when they grew up, when they were, 6, 7 years old and growing up in the family unit or in the community that they grew up in, their brain is automatically going to go, oh my gosh, what are you doing? This is dangerous. No one's going to accept you here. You're going to get cast out of the community and the tribe that we live in that keeps us safe and comfortable and secure. And so you need to figure out how to sabotage this success. And you're not consciously thinking like sabotage this success, but then your subconscious mind is uncomfortable with this. And so it's going to go to work figuring out how you're going to spend that money, make a bad investment, or just not get those months that continue to bring you that amount of money that you were making previously, because you don't believe truly deep down, maybe on a conscious level, once a day, and this isn't even usually once a day, but once, when you think about looking at your goals, or you think about thinking about the people you want to make an impact with, when you think about that, maybe you're consciously thinking, no, this is okay. But subconsciously, if you haven't done the work to rewire what is truly okay, it's okay to get out of the comfort zone, and you're okay, you're safe to make more money. If you can't think about that every day, which most of us don't, because most of our thoughts are repeated from day to day and they're all happening on the subconscious level, then we don't believe that it's safe for us. We don't believe that we can indeed make this amount of money, that we can indeed have success without working as many hours or without working as physically as hard, that we can believe that we are worthy and accepting to have love in our lives, even though that might feel uncomfortable or that might feel like too much. And so this is really important to even just start identifying what are those set points. What is our comfort zone? And when am I going to short circuit and freak out if I step out of that comfort zone? Because when we step out, we go into fight or flight mode. And fight or flight mode is essentially, how do I get back to safety? How do I get back to that set point? How do I get back to my comfort zone? And it shortens the period of time that you're allowed to make decisions. So you have to make fast decisions, which generally aren't good. And so we need to slow down the decision-making process, allow us to really think about, is this safe for me? And we do that by working on our subconscious mind and working on our mindset, whether it is money mindset or it's, just success mindset in business in general, whether it's your relationship mindset, it all boils down to what's happening on a subconscious level. And that boils down to what happened between the ages of 0 and 7, and maybe slightly between the ages of 7 and 14-ish. So really think about that. Think about, if you're struggling to reach those goals you've been working really hard to get to, and you can't figure out why, think about, what are some of the thoughts that have come up for you as you've been trying to reach these goals? What are some of the things that you look to the outside and you go, why is it so easy for them, but I'm not allowing it to be easy for me? And just start boiling down, where does this come from? And then you can start doing the work to reprogram these thoughts, and even just doing the daily practices of consciously thinking the new reframed beliefs that you're going to have. Some really good affirmations just to say on a daily basis is, it's safe for me, and then fill in the blank. So for me, I have to say, it is safe for me to work less. It is safe for me to believe that work can be easy. It is safe for me to believe that easy work can equal success. And so I just build off of that until I find a really good affirmation that allows me to feel safe, even though my subconsciously programmed belief from way, way back is that oh, it is not okay if you do not work long hours and you have financial success without putting in the effort, the physical effort, the hours effort, the all of that. Okay, so think about that. And if you want to continue this work, I invite you to join us in the Payday Party. The Payday Party workshop is a week long. It starts next week, and we're going to dive more into money mindset, identifying our limiting beliefs from childhood and how we're bringing them forward and how they might potentially be self-sabotaging our financial success in the future. And then we're going to dive into how to implement a system into your business. And these do connect, I promise you, because we're going to be setting goals and your brain is going to freak out and your subconscious mind is going to go, that's not safe. You can't make that much money. If you do, you'll get cast out. And we're really going to dive into setting those goals, but having the right mindset as we go about setting those goals and then pursuing those goals. And then we'll implement a system into your business finances, and potentially you can take it all the way to your personal finances, so that you can see that making money can be easy by changing those limiting beliefs and reprogramming your subconscious mind. And managing your money can be easy and it can be fun. And it can all correlate, and it has to correlate. We have to work on the subconscious, on the mindset level in order to have success financially through the tools that we use and the systems that we implement, so that we can take that into our business and then let it trickle into our personal lives. So I'd love for you guys to join me. If you are an online entrepreneur, business owner, service-based specifically, especially you online coaches out there, head to wanderwealthy.com/party, and I'd love to see you inside. It's a week long. There's 4 live classes, and it is only $42. So we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be cheap, and I invite you to bring. Well, I think it's in the morning for you guys. So I was gonna say bring a glass of champagne, but instead bring like a cup of coffee or tea or kombucha. Kombucha has. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. If you guys have questions, hit me up in my DMs, and I will see you all next time. Bye.